Hey, Fanboy Nation.
This is your pal Daffy Duck, and you're watching.
We're watching Fanboy.
A fanboy, etc.
Fanboy Nation.
I assume Tom.
As everybody knows, I'm a huge MMA fan, cover MMA, participate in combat sports, and with International Fight Week coming for the UFC, it is a great pleasure to talk to the marketing director, Derek Gumin of Planet 13 over in Las Vegas that will be hosting the meet and greet during International Fight Week. Derek, how are you today?
Hey, great. How are you?
Listen, man, it's going to be a good time. I know I got that disheveled look, so people think I got that stoner look, but I'm an insomniac, so there's that crossover in our presentation. But, how did Planet 13 get involved with this? Because I know there's a lot of guys that now use CBD and THC for injury recovery instead of just popping pills like the old days where we've seen so many OD, especially back in professional wrestling, and then the addiction that came into mixed martial arts.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, listen, as far as cannabis is concerned, with the healing and what it does for fighters in general, it's huge. So whether it's a topical or an edible, or man, some guys just like to smoke on a joint after a fight. I know it's really part of the healing process for a lot of athletes, MMA aside, right? Athletes all around the world in many different sports. So, for us, I've been an MMA fan my entire career, and my entire life, really, not just my career, but I'm probably 8 or 9 years old. I started watching stuff from the old NC-17 section of Blockbuster Video. My dad would actually have to take those out. So fast forward 2023 last year, me and my buddy we train here and there. He trains a little bit more than I do, and we started tapping into these circles in Las Vegas with some of the MMA fighters. So last International Fight Week, on like a week's notice, we put together 6 top fighters to come by Planet 13. Last year we had Sean Strickland and Aljamain Sterling, Chris Curtis, Joaquin Buckley, Ode Osborne, and Merab Dvalishvili. So we had a great lineup last year, and again, it was on a week's notice around Fight Week. So this year, fast forward 2024, we had a lot more time to build something out, and we wanted to host an event that the fans could go to during International Fight Week that was free, that was for the fans, and really just an exciting meet and greet opportunity for people to come by and check out.
I mean, you have some of the heaviest hitters coming there. Yosef Zalal, Alex Perez, who's the number 5 flyweight, Kevin Holland. That's just on Thursday. Alex is going to be back on Friday. Ode Osborne, Jonathan Martinez, Brendan Morano. That's on Friday the 28th. You guys pulled out some big stops for this weekend.
We did, yeah. So we've been working with a couple different groups. My buddy Joey has a company called JA Distribution, who's helped get a couple of these guys landed. And then I'm actually sitting at Iridium Sports Agency right now, who is managing a lot of the talent that we have coming. Vanessa Demopoulos actually is just in the other room right now. We just did a news interview kind of highlighting this event week as well. But yeah, the team here at Iridium has been great. Brandon Moreno, of course, is going to be huge. We're really excited. Brandon Royval at the watch party. Jonathan Martinez, Alex Hernandez. Kevin Holland, as you mentioned. So a lot of these guys train right here in the building that I'm at now, and they're in town. In fact, Alexa Grasso and Diego Lopez is just back. They just walked in. So they're going to be thrown around on the mats a little bit. Diego's got a fight coming up in 2 weeks that was just announced for 303. So, yeah, man. I mean, we're in this, trying to make it the best event we could possibly make it.
What I love about Vanessa is that not only is she so humble, but she's also so unassuming that people are like, "Oh, she's this pretty little thing." I was like, "Who will tear your head off?"
Oh yeah, little monster, man. Yeah, she'll get you. She'll get you. And she's been great. If I can get my eyeballs on her in the other room, I'll try to pull her in here real quick if you want.
Hey, that'd be fantastic. People forget, the Spartans weren't the only tough Greeks. So the Athenians had a great navy.
A history buff. I like it.
I used to teach history, so yeah, man.
Nice,
Yeah, man.
nice.
So listen, man, everything that's going on, how did you guys pair up with the UFC? I know the UFC's home base is in Vegas. You guys have an enormous facility in Las Vegas. I've been there. You guys have your own brewery on top of everything. So like can actually throw back some THC beers while watching the fight if we couldn't get tickets to 303.
Right, right, yeah. So Planet 13 as a whole. I mean, I've been with Planet now. We're going on 5 years. As I mentioned, big MMA fans. So when the opportunity arose, for us to get something going with the fighters, it was a no-brainer. Now, fast forward again to this year. We've got a Planet 13 apparel line that we just launched. It's called P13 Fight Club. So we're going to be doing gear, apparel, gloves made, tie shorts, shin guards and pads, everything. We're going full in. We're looking to sponsor athletes currently. We're actually looking at a couple of gyms to sponsor. So we're really trying to make that jump from being just a cannabis company that focuses on that side of the retail into really becoming more of a lifestyle brand that can focus on apparel, merch, and things outside of the cannabis industry.
If
So
they are not
MMA
hemp-based, I'm going to be really disappointed.
yeah, yeah, right. We'll have some, but no, yeah, for us, it's about entertainment. We are an entertainment complex. Las Vegas has Planet 13 sitting there as the world's largest dispensary. We've got a few different ones, but Las Vegas is the world's largest, and it is an entertainment complex. So having entertainers there, having meet and greets and events with these athletes is just part of what we do.
I've been a huge fan of mixed martial arts since UFC 2. And I was, a freshman in high school. My dad always made me go to summer school so I'd keep busy. And the teacher gave us an automatic A. It's, what's it called? The time's passed enough that he can't get in trouble. He's probably retired. That we'd get an automatic A on that exam if someone brought in a copy of UFC 2 so we could watch it in class.
In class.
In class.
Right.
It was summer school. It's like, listen, my buddy from high school is fighting in UFC 2. I got to watch it. If someone will bring it, everybody gets an automatic A on that exam. So cool deal with that. And then now here we are, 303, the evolution from Art Davies all the way to TKO with obviously the Fertitas in between. We see the evolution of Planet 13 going from a dispensary now into a lifestyle brand. How is that mirroring what they've done in the past 30 years? And what are you guys noticing from them that Planet 13 is learning from a company that's grown so much that was initially considered human cockfighting?
Well, the number one thing I could probably point to is just taking the risk. That's one thing Dana White's done and the UFC has done since day one, is just taking risks. There was a time when cage fighting was illegal in the United States. You could only really do it in Vegas or Jersey, right? Now almost every state has opened up to it. Same with cannabis. Our ownership, Larry Scheffler and Bob Grossbeck, decided several years ago that they wanted to jump into an industry that was, not regulated yet and, still technically federally illegal. But they saw the writing on the wall. They saw what kind of was happening in some of the other states on the West Coast that had legalized it to some extent. And they took a big risk. It's a lot of money to invest, whether it's the UFC and a professional fighting organization or cannabis company, publicly traded and national company. Takes a lot of money and a lot of risk to do what we're doing. And so there's a lot of crossover there. And, my ownership are two old boys from Vegas and, the Fertitas, same type of thing, man. Those guys are just old Vegas boys. And so we are really trying to bring the community together and really just start something bigger than just one industry, right?
Now, at what point does Planet 13 start sponsoring Burning Man or
Well,
the EDM festival?
Yeah. No, well, that's actually, it's funny you say that. We are actively working on different events that we can be a part of. Cannabis is still deemed taboo in some different industries, and they only allow certain. I would say, it's tricky, but yes, that the writing's on the wall. we've already done some smaller events here in Las Vegas, and it's just a matter of time before we lock in something with, Burning Man or Life is Beautiful or EDC. But yeah, once we see some of the laws change on a local level, we'll be able to start doing some of those events and off to the races.
Now, you guys also hosting concerts on the Planet 13 campus in Las Vegas, and
Yeah.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. We have the ability to. We had Snoop Dogg last year. We had a huge stage installed on the backside of our facility, and probably 1,000 people showed up to just party with Snoop Dogg. So we are looking to do more stuff like that. We have some lower key events, inside the store itself. We had like a Pauly Shore comedy show last week randomly. So we've always got something going on, and we are actively looking for another big concert event in the next.
Yeah, well, you guys are doing something right if you've blown up that much, and then you have another Planet 13 down the street from me in Orange County. So
Yeah.
And it's surprising that it hit in Orange County, not LA County first, but it's a totally different game in between the two. It's like two different worlds. When you see the growth of Planet 13 and where the UFC has come, like, how is that tie-in great for you guys because of the MMA fan base?
Well, I mean, are you asking, I guess, what is how the crossover between the two?
Yeah, the crossover itself and like how that has helped you guys along, especially with Vegas
Yes.
being both your home bases.
Of course, yeah. I mean, listen, these types of events, these meet and greets, are huge. When we have a fight in town, whether it's a boxing match or a UFC card at the T-Mobile, the town is buzzing, right? It's an electric atmosphere. Everybody's here for the same reason, and so being that our proximity is so close to the Strip, Planet 13 sees a huge amount of tourism. So we get to see all those MMA fans coming in. And when they want cannabis, they come to us. A lot of people, it's their first stop shop. So, now we've really tapped into the fight community. People know us for hosting these types of events. And really, it's a win-win situation because now these fighters can come to our shop. We take care of our fighters that we partner with and make sure that not only do they get, compensated for showing up, but we take care of them with product and gear, and really the relationship is embedded at that point. Every time they're in town, they come in, and we really start to build more of a friendship with these folks, rather than just it being a business transaction.
All right, so we're going to put it to you this way: since you guys are a part of International Fight Week and hosting a meet and greet, let's go to a couple of the fights on the main card. Obviously, the light heavyweight main event, Alex Pereira versus, and I'm going to butcher this Polish name because I could never pronounce it, Jurir. I'm not even going to try his last name.
Yuri
Alex
Prochazka.
Yes, thank you so much, dude. Like when you give me a Polish last name, I was like, dude, I'm out.
Yeah.
That's why I don't announce hockey because there's so many Eastern European names that I have a hard time with. Yeah, I mean, Alex is a heavy hitter. He's a top guy. This is what, his 5th defense in the 2 years that he's been in the UFC, 3 years.
Guy's a beast.
Yeah.
You can't deny the work ethic of the man. Whether he wins or loses, he's right back in there within a few months. So all the respect to him and Yuri for the same reason. I mean, that's not the first time either one of these guys have taken a fight on short notice. So I'm super excited. I think Yuri's got a shot. He's had a little bit more time off in between fights than Poatan has. So there's something to say to that, but not to say that Potan's not always ready too. So I think that's going to be a banger. And so yeah, I'm really looking forward to that one. But more so, I'm more excited maybe even for the co-main event with Diego Lopes and Brian Ortega.
People have been sleeping on Brian. People forget that Brian is 16-3. He's got an incredible record. I don't think he's high enough on the rankings or the card that he should be. He should be far more recognized than he is. He's got the respect of the mixed martial arts community. This one I'm thinking is going to decision between Brian and Diego.
Sure. Yeah, I would agree. I think it's going to be probably the most exciting fight on the card. I mean, not to say that the main couldn't be, but this is going to be a fight that I believe we're going to see these guys pull all the stops out.
You know,
We're going to see that on hand that night. And we're really get to see what Diego Lopes is about. I mean, we've seen him coming up and rising through the ranks pretty quickly. This is a big, big jump for him. Ortega is a world-class athlete. As you mentioned, he's only got a few losses, Max Holloway being one of them, right? Volk being another. So these are guys that are world champions. That is only L's. So yeah, it's going to be an exciting fight for sure.
and we gotta give the women their due in the bantamweight division. Mayra Bueno Silva versus Macy Chiasson, and I can't Chasen. I'm sorry, Macy. I'm bad with name pronunciations. That
Yeah, no,
one's gonna
that's
be a
going to be a
banger
great
too because
fight.
they're both 10-3.
That's going to be a great fight. Silva, her last outing was a little disappointing. I think she could have pressed the fight a little bit more, and maybe squeak that one out. So I think she's going to be coming back this time with a chip on her shoulder. I do not think she's going to, have a slow pace. I think it's going to be aggressive, and Macy's going to have a fight on her hands.
Yeah, and again, they're both 10-3, so Macy's no slouch in this fight
No,
either.
no,
So
not by any means. Not by any means. No, this one, that's in my opinion, that's a coin flip fight. I mean, I don't know what the odds are offhand, but that to me, I mean, that's any woman's game.
this fight right here, this is my prediction. And it's either going to go the distance or it's ending in the first round. There's no second or third round in the middle thing. It's either all or nothing. This is going to either end with a tap out or a knockout, or it's going to end with a judge's decision. There's no one's carrying anybody 3 rounds with a third round finish.
No, yeah, I don't think so. Again, I don't think Silva wants to go to a decision again. I think that she is going to be coming out looking for that sub, really putting the pressure on Macy, and Macy's going to be looking for that nice counter KO, maybe just stop Silva.
And now with Planet 13 hosting the International Fight Week and everything that's going on that week, and especially the events there, and then the watch party, is there a special blend being sold at Planet 13 for the people that want to smoke while watching the fights? Is there a special beer that's going to be promoted? Like, I'm not an IPA guy, and everybody tells me the same thing about IPAs. This one is different than all the other IPAs. Your guys is clearly different because of one of the additives, one of the added ingredients. But is there a specialty beer that night in the brewery? Is there a specialty blend for smoking or an edible?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on with that?
Right. So yeah. So we don't, unfortunately, we don't have a brewery. What we do have though is we do have a soda and sparkling water line of THC products. We are, however, we are the only dispensary in the world that does have a beer, liquor, wine license on site. We also have a tobacco license on site, so you can get all your cigarettes, or if you want your blunt wraps and stuff like that for your marijuana. So we have it's a one-stop shop for all that stuff. As far as the event week goes, and at our Days Consumption Lounge, we will likely have a specialty cocktail that we're going to be doing. So basically, it's just a few milligrams of THC, and then we blend up some really, really tasty mixology out of that lounge. So yeah, we should have 1 or 2 fight night drinks available for people, and it's just going to be an all around great event. We've got a number of different sponsors, cannabis sponsors, that are going to have discounted product at our dispensary throughout the week. So you'll be able to get those products at a great price. And yeah, man, I mean, as far as the meet and greets go, they're free. So you come down, free meet and greets, you get to meet world-class superstars from the UFC, and then it all culminates with that watch party that we have at our Days Consumption Lounge on the 29th for 303.
And there is a ticket requirement for the watch party, but there will be athletes there to also meet and party with while watching the fight.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Bobby Green's going to be in the house, man. I mean, we are going to have that watch party. So it's a 4-hour event. It is ticketed per person. It'll include dinner included in that, along with all the fighters that are going to be there, with photo opportunities and autograph opportunities for everyone that buys a ticket inside. It's going to be a great atmosphere. I mean, it's not a huge venue. It's only seats around 80 to 90 people. As I mentioned, Bobby Green, Marab, Alex Hernandez, Ode, Vanessa Demopoulos, and Brandon Royval will all be there for the watch party. And that's just who's confirmed. I've got a few friends that are also going to be in town. They're just waiting to let me know if Dana's given them tickets yet. If Dana, doesn't have tickets for them and they need somewhere to go, they're going to give me a call. I don't want to say who just yet, but let's just say one of them's in the top 10 as a middleweight. And so yeah, we're just super excited, and it's going to be a really fun week for fight fans at Planet 13.
Well, I'm looking forward to hearing what's going on. Unfortunately, I can't be in Vegas that week. I'm calling a couple of soccer games, that weekend, but I'll try to catch the replay later on. The big thing, where can we find you guys on social media? How can we connect with Planet 13 and the UFC for future events?
Sure. So yeah, our Instagram is Planet 13 Stores. Our new apparel lifestyle brand that's going to be featuring all our gear and all the MMA stuff that we're going to be putting together is Planet 13 Lifestyle. And Days Consumption Lounge. So you can check out any three of those social handles, and they'll have all the information being posted over the course of the next 2 weeks leading into the fight.
Derek, next time I'm in Vegas, we're going to hang out face to face and, have some normal beers, because I'm paranoid enough as it is. I don't need anything to enhance that, but we're definitely going to hang next time I'm in town, man. Thank you so much for today. Planet 13 meet and greet, UFC International Fight Week. Some great people coming in. The fight card is completely stacked, well worth watching. Get your tickets when you can. We'll link everybody in the description below. Thank you again, Derek.
Thank you. You have a good one.